12 days of war have pushed Iran and the West to the brink. Now Europe has pulled the snapback trigger, a move that reimposes the toughest United Nations sanctions on Tehran within 30 days. A high-stakes countdown has begun. Here's a report.
"12 days of war shook Iran to its core. Israeli strikes pounded crucial nuclear and military sites. The US joined with bombs of its own on June 22nd. The attacks were meant to cripple Iran's nuke program, but they ignited something else, a new crisis. With diplomacy frozen, Europe has pulled the sanctions trigger again. France, Britain and Germany, the E3 have activated the snapback mechanism, a clause built into the 2015 nuclear deal like a trapdoor. One notification and the countdown begins. 30 days later, all UN sanctions crash back into force, and no veto can come to rescue. Germany says that the reimposition of UN sanctions on Iran could mark the beginning of a new phase in diplomatic negotiations. And the case against Iran was already stacked before the war. In May, the IAEA reported Tehran's stockpile at over 9,200 kilograms of enriched uranium. More than 400 kilos of that at 60% purity, dangerously close to the 90% needed for a bomb. These were the pre-war figures. After the strikes, the inspectors' view shrank with cameras removed and IAEA inspectors barred. Access is now patchy, limited to a few sites, and the full picture of Iran's program is obscured. The E3 say Iran has willfully and publicly departed from its promises. They offered Tehran a deal in July, delay the snapback if 3 conditions are met, return to talks with Washington, open the door to UN inspectors, and explain the enriched uranium already on hand. Tehran rejected it outright. And the sanctions snapback consequences are devastating. A total arms embargo, a freeze on assets, travel bans on officials, a ban on missile development, a complete shutdown of all nuclear-related trade, sanctions as severe as they were before the deal, returning instantly, automatically, with no second vote. But Tehran has answered with its own threats. It said if the snapback goes ahead, the country could quit the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. The world is now stuck between force and diplomacy. 30 days of negotiation remain on the table as snapback begins, a brief window to halt the automatic sanctions. But if no deal is reached, the sanctions lock back in like a steel trap. 12 days of war lit the fuse. Now a 30-day clock ticks louder by the hour. Sanctions, diplomacy, or escalation. The final chapter is yet to be written.